Children of the night, gather round, gather round. Now is time for a Halloween story from Jay. Spooky, spooky story. Okay, are you ready? You ready? Here we go. I ain't got no plans for fucking Halloween, so I figured I'd just do a Halloween story for you guys because I can't figure out anything else to do for this channel. All right, segue. Sorry. It's a dark, dark Halloween night. An elderly woman is home alone. She's 80 years old. She hasn't had sex in a while. She's just plain pissed. She sits down to watch some of her programs she's put onto the TiVo if she could figure out how to work this thing. Where's the on button? But nobody's there to answer her. Finally, she just watches network TV like old people do, and she starts to space out. Her cat Fluffy gets onto her lap. She passes gas and laughs as he jumps off. It's a funny little joke they share, more on her end than his. Suddenly, she hears a knock on her door. Actually, she didn't hear it the first 5 or 6 times because she's 80, something years old and having a hard time nowadays. Finally, it gets louder. She looks behind her and goes, "Hello?" She can't hear if anybody's, saying hello or anything back, so she decides to get up and see what's going on. She walks over to her front door. She peers out the little keyhole. Nobody's there. Not a soul to be had, not a trick-or-treater, not anything. Thank God, she hates the little bastards coming to her house. She was about to rub one out earlier when they started knocking on the door asking for the fucking treats. Finally, she just left the whole, pumpkin full of, little bottles of booze that she, stole off airplanes from her many, many trips to go visit Las Vegas and waste her money at the casino like old people do. She sits back down, pulls her Afghan tight around her, and starts to watch some more of her programs. Again, she's having trouble with the TiVo, so she just decides to watch the local news. But all of a sudden, she hears it again, because this time they're really super loud about it. She starts to get scared. She sits up. She goes to the door. It takes her about an hour to get to the door, because she's, like I said, 80, arthritis, and she's not feeling that well. And she had to pee. She had to stop and pee before she could get to the door. Okay. She gets to the front door. "Hello?" No answer. But she knows she heard it. Maybe it was that last bottle of gin she had. She went through 3 tonight. No, she's positive someone was at that door. She decides to open the door, just a crack, just to see what's going on. She pries the door open very, very slowly. And what she sees startles her, but also piques her curiosity. There's a porcelain doll seated right out front of her front porch, by the 3rd step down. Maybe it's not that. She must be seeing things. Nothing spooky could ever happen on a Halloween night. No. She goes over to the edge of her porch. It is indeed a porcelain doll. Beyond strange. She picks it up, looks at it, figures maybe she can sell it on QVC, brings it into her house. Finally, she goes back and starts to watch more. Well, she's given up on her programs at this point. There's just static playing on the TV. She'll watch anything. She's old and senile. She sits down. Her cat Fluffy is about to jump on her lap again, but he's not going to fall for that shit one more time. He remembers the smell. I mean, a smell from an old person is like the smell of a corpse farting, much not like any other person. She sits down. She starts to rock back and forth, sliding her finger over her dilapidated breasts that hang down all the way to her knees at this point. She even has a few hairs poking out of a graying nipple. She starts to tweak it a little bit. Wrong story. Sorry. Spooky. Sorry, let me get you back. Spooky. Anyway, she starts to, go down a little bit and feel herself, and she hasn't shaved in quite a while, so there's a big bush. She can't quite find her vagina yet, but she wants to beat off and just go to sleep when she hears super loud again because she's deaf and senile and all that. Hello? She gets up. She looks at the porcelain doll that she's got right next to her. Not again. It couldn't be. She goes to the door. Again, it takes her another hour or two. She did that stop pee. She made some coffee and she goes back. Okay, you got it. You got it. Spooky. She goes to the front. She opens the front door again. Further away this time, there's another porcelain doll. This one of those racist black ones from the 20s. And she's an old white lady, so of course she loves it. She looks around to make sure this isn't some kind of trap of some sort. Nobody's around. All the pumpkins have died out. All the flames from this fire she set earlier, because she's kind of a pyromaniac, have died out. It's a quiet suburban night. She goes cautiously. Again, it takes her another hour to get to that one doll. She picks it up, looks around. Nothing. goes back into her house. Same shit happens. She's just watching, trying to rub one out. Finally, can't be another doll. What kind of trick is this? Should she call the police? What will she tell them? That somebody's leaving really nice porcelain dolls that maybe she can hog to somebody who will sell them on QVC, or she could just put them on eBay herself. If her grandson would ever fucking come over and help her out once in a while because she can't figure out how to turn on a computer, let alone go on a website, and there's a lot of free porn out there now, and she's pissed because she can't even get on there or find out how to do it. How the fuck is she going to ask her grandson for that? Okay, spooky. Finally, she knows she must get up. This is the last time she's going out. She doesn't care. She figures she might need some protection. Does she take a knife? No. Does she take a bat? No. She goes all the way upstairs. So it takes her like another 3 hours because, arthritis, all that. She had to pee and she had to poop this time. She goes into her drawer and pulls out her vibrator. She never cleans it. It smells of old lady pussy. She dares someone to fuck with her now. She walks outside. In the middle of the street, there is a doll. Another porcelain doll. The size of a small child. Creepy looking, but probably worth a lot of money. And grandma needs more booze. The checks aren't paying this much nowadays because Donald Trump is cutting Social Security. She walks out, looking around. She sees no one. This is the last time. If this happens one more time, she's calling the police. After she gets shit-faced drunk and passes out and then remembers to sell them on QVC the next day. She reaches the doll. She picks it up. Suddenly from behind her, somebody grabs her, puts a hood over her head. All she sees is darkness. She can hear heavy breathing from either side of her. She screams. She cries out for help. She feels herself being whisked right off the street. Her bare feet are dangling in the air. She hears maniacal laughter. She's thrown into the fucking car. At least she thinks it's a car because she can hear it go vroom, vroom and all that shit. She screams and screams and nobody will help her. She realizes she's been taken, but to where? She screams so hard that she pees on herself. That's not the first time, it won't be the last. She hears one of the killers or whoever it is go, ew. And out of pure fear alone, she passes out. Turns out it was her kids, they were trying to lure her out of that. They were like leaving the dolls and knocking on it because she wouldn't go to the home. They were trying to get her to go, but she wouldn't go voluntarily. So they taped her picking up these dolls off the street that they set there, and they would go and run up and knock, but they edit that out of the tape, so it makes her look like some crazy old woman who's just picking up her porcelain dolls out of the street. They get her into the fucking, old people home because they want her to die real fast so they can get her money. So basically, long story short, she ends up sitting there for the rest of her days in a small room with no windows. She sobs and wonders where her grandchildren are and why they would do this to her, because actually it's her kids that do it to her. And every now and then the family will come by when she's in the day room drooling and wondering whatever happened to her life, and they will knock on the window of the nursing home and laugh at her and point, and she dies alone. And of course, they get her money because they fucked with the will or something. Spooky. And that's my Halloween story, and you're welcome.